DC Boxing Legend Podcast. 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 Home of the champions.
DC Boxing Legends, past and present. I'm here with former world middleweight champion William Joppy, ladies and gentlemen. Former middleweight champion William Joppy. How's it going, brother?
Man, that's great, man. You know, glad to be on with you tonight.
Yes, indeed, man. It's an honor to have you on here. We just wanted to, go back and touch on a few, past issues and how, what I'm saying, to show the youngins about the history of DC boxing, the rich history. And you definitely is of the elite because it's, out of the thousands of boxers that came out of Washington, D.C., it's only about 10 world champions.
Right.
And you come in that same area of the 10. So I want to ask you, when did you start boxing and where?
I started boxing when I was 20.
Wow.
Yeah, my first amateur fight was March 16th, 1991. I still remember the date.
Wow.
And at Hillcrest, my first amateur fight was at Hillcrest Heights.
Okay.
And I went from there, snowball from there. I never thought I would be a world champion. I always wanted to be a fighter.
Right.
Coming up as 13, 14, and I was a runaway child, running wild. I didn't really have the discipline as a teenager.
Right.
Coming up. I remember going to a gym in Tacoma Park back in, I think it was 84, 85. And trying boxing. I was trying to, and the coach asked me to put my guards up, and he said something to me like, man, you got your guards up wrong, you want to be a boxer or something like that. And I got discouraged from that.
Okay.
And I really got discouraged from that, so I never came back. But when I came back to fight, I always wanted to beat anybody from Tacoma Langley gym.
Right, because of that right there. Yes, indeed. I know that feeling, man.
Yeah.
Which area did you come out of, champ?
Well, my first started boxing gym in Rockville.
Okay.
Rockville gym. Charles Mooney.
Charles Mooney. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
We started there. I started there in '91. I fought my amateur career in the gym there in Rockville, but then I had to leave. I wanted to get. I wasn't progressing. I wanted to get better work.
Okay.
Good fighters, but I just had to leave out that gym to take me to another level.
I understand. Most definitely.
To another level. Yeah, so I left and I went to Palmer Park.
Yeah, because I remember, man, when you was fighting up Hillcrest, you fought the gentleman, what's his name, Larry Quick.
Right.
Man, I remember that, man. It was like a massacre. I've never seen nobody get knocked out in amateur boxing in my life.
Oh, yeah, that was the second time we fought. It was the first time we fought in Palmer Park.
Okay, I saw it up Hillcrest, the second one.
Oh, the second one, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw you fight as a pro. You was 8-0. I think you had like 8 knockouts. You fought at Showplace Arena.
Yeah,
I was there, man. And it blew my mind when I saw you fight, man. The technical skills you had, the power. You know what I'm saying? I was like 8-0, 8 knockouts. Wow, it blew my mind. Me and my brother and my father was there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, indeed, man.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Man.
So, who were some of your idols that you looked up to coming up in the fight game?
Oh, man, Sugar Ray Leonard, man, that was my man there,
yes,
man.
Indeed.
Sugar Ray Leonard's an all-around fighter. My favorite fighter is Sugar Ray. But I love a lot of fighters, man. A lot of fighters that come out. I love James Toney, Buddy McGirt. I love them all. But those are my great, but my top 5 best fighters, Sugar Ray Leonard. There's so many of them. I can't really say, but you definitely Sugar Ray Leonard, James Toney, Buddy McGirt, You know, Ray Robinson, a lot of great fighters. I admire all fighters.
Yes,
no matter
indeed,
what,
man.
I admire Floyd Mayweather, man. I admire Floyd so much because he trains so hard. I've seen him train before.
Yeah.
With all the money he has, he trains as if he's broke.
He does. He definitely does. He treats boxing. He respects the sport of boxing for what it was supposed to be done.
Absolutely, yeah. To the utmost.
To the utmost, yes. I've never seen no. I mean, there's plenty world champions that came. Like you got like Sugar Ray Robinson. They was great fighters.
Right.
But the discipline of Floyd is outstanding. It's phenomenal how he definitely takes the fight game so much serious than anybody before him. I do agree with you, man.
Yeah, if he's fighting somebody that never boxed before, but he has an upcoming match with a guy that never boxed before, he gonna train like he never, he's not gonna take that guy lightly.
Exactly, he's not. And that was, that was always we remember coming up where they would say, man, boxing is a jealous sport.
Right.
You know how this is a jealous sport. It has no equals, and we didn't. He understands. I guess it's because of the coming up. He's seeing other fighters like his father and his uncle, and he probably saw all the mistakes they made. He just didn't want to fall in that footsteps in that category to making it. How was your experience, man, when you first won the world title, man? How did that feel to you?
I felt great, man, because I went across the world to go get it.
Right.
Over there in Japan, right? I won in Yokohama, Japan. It was a great feeling. They gave me love when I was victorious over there. When I beat their whole hometown guy.
Yes, indeed.
But man, it felt so great, man.
Man,
it was 18 hours on a plane.
18 hours to go take the title. Yes, indeed.
And I said, man, I told my manager, J.D. Brown and Ollie Dunlap, man, there's no way I'm going back with a loss. No way.
I didn't know J.D. was your manager.
Yeah, J.D. Brown and Ollie Dunlap.
Okay, I didn't know that, man. It was good dudes, man. I remember them.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, man. Man, please explain your experience, man, in that tournament with you, Bernard, Felix Trinidad, Keith Holmes. Explain that experience, because when I was watching that on TV, I think that was one of the greatest middleweight competition in many years since Ray and Hagler in that era. And that tournament was so masterful, man, and to see you guys competing, all champions in one tournament. Explain how that felt to you, man, being on that spotlight as one of the greatest, one of the best middleweights in that era.
Well, it felt great, man. I fell short, man. God, Trinidad, man, should have picked him apart. But it was great, man, to be up there with those elite fighters, Keith Holmes, Trinidad, Bernard Hopkins, and man, all eyes was on us, man, and it was great just to, I would never think I would make it to that level.
Yeah.
I said, my first fight was March 16th, 1991. And for me to get to that level, man, I was like, wow, you know what I mean? I just always wanted to be a boxer. And for me, just stepping into that square circle was, I just love doing what I always wanted to do.
Yes, indeed, man. You definitely did it, man. And for you young fighters out there, never let nobody tell you that you too old to do anything. This is a former world champion. 20 years old, started boxing and became a world champion. So never let nobody discourage you and tell you what you can't do.
Well, see, if you can't, it's all on you.
Exactly.
If you say you can't, then you can't.
Exactly.
If you say you can, then you can.
And you can.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. I started at 20, and I was world champion at 25.
See that? You hear that, people? It's all in your mindset.
Right.
It's all in your mindset. Also, man, do you think because you guys were under the same promoter, that made it easier for you guys to get fights? And does that affect or hurt boxing today because all these different promoter companies unable to match cards like they were able to match you guys up coming up in that time?
Well, yeah. Well, sometimes these promoters be bumping heads. You know what I mean? So, like Don King, he had the middleweight tournament. We were all under his umbrella.
Exactly.
You understand? Yeah. So he could put that together, but I think it would have been more difficult if he had to deal with other promoters. To like Bernard signed with him at the time. Trinidad was with him. I was with him. Keith Holmes was with him. So it was no problem for Don King to make that happen. But if he had to deal with like Bob Erm or Cedric Kushner, it probably would have been a little more difficult because they would, like the money, whatever, might be something. It could have been something that would have slowed up the process.
Exactly, man.
But we was all under Don King's umbrella at the time. And
that's what made it happen. And I wish boxing was able to have that now. But, a lot of these guys, like you see these young middleweights now, like the guy, what's his name? Demetrius. I forgot his last name, from over Cleveland. He can't get he got a title, but he can't get no fight with Triple G or none of those guys,
Yeah, right. Yeah, see, they might be staying away from promoter,
Yeah.
What was his last name?
Andre, that's him, exactly. That's him, brother. Yeah, that boy can fight too. I like the way he fight.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He fought I saw him fight one of our home guys, the guy Fox.
Okay,
yeah. He fought Fox, yeah. So, the middle. What's your opinion on the state of the middleweights today? In your opinion, what you think about them?
Well, I mean, it's really, boxing is kind of. I'm not. I can't really. It's not really. Man. The promotion is not really up to par. Man. You don't really hear too much about them these days.
Yeah.
And it's just like kind of like. I don't know, man. I mean, especially this coronavirus thing that's coming up, man. That slowed things down a lot.
Definitely did.
But I just, for me, to all the fighters out there, man, they gotta stay focused at this time of this coronavirus because you never know what's gonna happen when we're gonna get that call.
Exactly. Because that call could come at any time, and you gotta be ready.
Right? You gotta stay ready at all times. And I tell the youngsters now that boxing is a year-round sport. It's not seasonal.
That's right.
So you gotta even when you're on your break.
That's right.
Even when you're on your vacation, you don't got no fight coming up. You're on vacation with your wife somewhere. Still get some little work, exercise, and get some road work in.
Get some road work in. Always stay ready, because that call could come at any time, and you don't want to get caught slipping.
Well, I know some fighters, man, will blow up 147-pound fighters, blow up to 210.
Woo!
Yeah, then when it's time to fight, they suck down just like that. Now you gotta maintain. That's the worst thing you can do.
That's the worst thing to do. That's bad for you. That's bad for your body too.
Bad for your body, big time. And then when it's time to fight, you're not as strong.
Exactly.
You gotta maintain the weight. Yeah.
And then you get caught. And then you be weak by the time it's fight time. And then you're drained out, and then you gotta, especially when you losing that world of water weight. That's the worst thing to do before. I used to hate it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was sometimes about 5 over, but that's only a month in advance. But when it get time to fight time, I always tried to stay on point because I hated that feeling.
If you 5 over 1 before the fight, that's not bad.
That ain't bad at all.
That's not bad at all.
That's not bad, yeah. Because we used to, my father used to let us, we only had a week off. So we only got July off. July for 1 week. That was it. Just in case, you know what I'm saying, that call was going to come through.
You got to rest your body. That's definitely a must. You got to rest, because if you don't rest, it's like you never even trained before. If you take a knife and you sharpen it too much. Yeah,
that's true too.
It'll start to chip.
Yeah, that's true too.
If you sharpen up a knife just right,
just right, exactly. That's real talk.
Yeah, sometimes you do gotta rest. There's been times I was in the gym down round 1. We training and I'm doing everything, man. I'm staying away from the women.
Yeah.
I'm getting my road work in. I'm on weight. But I'm in the gym, I'm sparring, I'm getting hit with shots I usually don't get hit with.
Yeah.
When I look at shop. So AJ Davis said, man, go home, man, chill out, relax.
Get your rest, exactly. You gotta do that. Yeah. Gotta let that body get together. Yep.
Yeah.
So who is your Who's your favorite fighter of this time? Who's on your radar now that you think has the potential to be a great fighter today?
Right now, I love Lomachenko.
Okay.
Lomachenko, bad boy.
Yeah, he's bad boy. That boy can move, man. Yeah, he got.
Yeah. Lomachenko was a bad.
He got some angles, man. He got them angles.
Yeah, I like Javante Davis.
Yeah,
I like him. Yeah, he got a match coming up. But Lomachenko, right? I think he's my top guy, right? Him, Javante Davis.
How you feel about?
I like Wilder. I like Wilder too. I like the heavyweight Wilder, man. I just think he needs to just sharpen up on his skills,
okay,
man. And then stop depending just on power.
On power, yeah. That can hurt you.
He needs to learn how to use that reach that he has and learn how to jab and bing, picking shots. He concentrates solely on that power.
Yeah.
I like his heart. I love his heart. He got a heart. The heart stay where it is, but he just need to work on his technical skills.
Yes, indeed. So, what you think about Jared Hurd?
Jared Hurd, didn't he just fight a guy who was Philly?
Yeah, he just won. He just won his last fight. He lost to the guy from Philly.
Right.
Yeah, he lost.
Yeah. Matter of fact, my buddy trained him, Nesto.
Yeah, Nesto was. Yeah, Nesto used to train him. Yeah.
I like him. I think, I like him. I've seen his fight. Last time I saw him fight when he lost the guy up there in Philly.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think went wrong with that fight? In your opinion, what you think went wrong with him on that fight?
I watched the fight. I don't think he was aggressive enough.
Me too. Yeah.
I don't think he was aggressive enough. Like he didn't go get it. He didn't work behind that jab.
Yeah.
He didn't, I think he was too laid back.
Too laid back. You think the distractions of the hometown could have created that also?
That's on you, man. That's on the fighter.
That's
man.
On the fighter. You right.
You gotta ask him that question. I mean, it's like, you gotta. Sometimes being home is a plus.
Yeah.
I think he just should have stepped it up and fought more aggressive.
Right.
Yeah. So
he kind of let the guy take it to him.
Yeah.
And what I noticed about that guy's strategy was, with Jared is not used to guys coming forward at him, that kind of threw him off too.
Oh, well, you got to get used to that.
Yes, indeed.
You got to get used to that then, because that's what you need to work on then, because actually, guy coming forward, I like when the guy come forward.
Me too.
Yes.
It's easy to counterpunch. You step over and give them angles.
They come right into the punch.
That's right. They come right into it every time.
You don't got to look for them.
You ain't got to look for them. They coming.
I'll tell you this, man. I always hated sparring tall 6'2", 6'3" southpaws.
Yeah, man. They was a problem, man. They was a problem. They a problem. Yeah, them.
I hate sparring. I hate sparring.
So you Vernon Foster. He was about 6'2", wasn't he? Vernon Forrest. Yeah.
Vernon was about 6'1". We fought Amsterdam together.
Okay.
He fought 139 in Amsterdam. Bad boy.
Yeah, he was a bad boy. I remember him too, man. He could go.
Yeah, I was down in Atlanta when that happened.
Oh, you was down there? Damn.
I was down there, yeah.
Man, that was a rough deal right there, man. That already was was he putting air in his tire, something like that?
Yeah, somebody shot Rob, man. I think he chased the dude around the corner.
Oh no, you can't do that. You gotta let that be, man. Let it go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let it go ahead, man. You need some money that bad, go ahead, man.
Yeah, you have that, buddy. Yeah, I'm not dying for $1.
I get it again. You gotta be smart out here.
Hey, real talk, man. You do, man. So what advice do you have for the future of boxing? What would you tell them to work on, and if anything, what is the mistakes to look out for for them?
I tell fighters now, man, to one is keep a good team around you. My worst mistake, I should have never left J.D. Brown and Ollie down there. I let people get in my ear. I should have never left them, man, and sign with new managers.
Yeah.
Advisors, right? But you always keep good people around. Let them guys, they guided my career. terrific, man. I should never left him. You know, you gotta maintain that weight. If you fight 147, you fight 160. Don't go no more than 10 pounds over.
That's
12
right.
pounds over. Maintain, because when you crash and when you train and struggling to make weight, it weakens you when it's time to fight.
Exactly.
You maintain your weight and watch how your fight game it evolves. It's better. When you struggle to make weight, it takes away from your fight game. I know, I've been there.
That's
so I'm
fact.
telling you, look, just keep good people around you. Keep good people around you at all times, and take it seriously. Just like Floyd Mayweather. That's why he's where he is today, man, because he takes this craft seriously, man. And when he's in that gym, man, he's working 100%. Like he said, you know, he got money, serious money.
Yeah.
But he trains like he don't have no money.
Yes, he do.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Like I said, the main thing is keep good people around you. Maintain your weight, and you gotta keep that discipline in your life, man. And I mean, like I said, when you get world champion, a lot of people come, a lot of kind of people come with different offers. Women come at you. You gotta learn you gotta watch that. You gotta watch that, man. Because you gotta just ask yourself, are they coming now? But why they didn't come before?
Exactly.
Why they coming now? Ask yourself that.
That's the fact.
Yeah.
So what is the conversations like amongst you, Mark Johnson, Sean Bay Mitchell, Keith Holmes, DeMarcus Chop Chop Coley, Winky Wright? What are those conversations like when you guys are amongst each other? What is those?
Yeah, I talked to Keith. I just talked to Keith not too long. We just talked about, you know, like it was something going on in the city. You know what I mean? You know, we're gonna be there. You know, I talked to Chop Chop too. Just regular conversation, man. Just like you and I talking about.
Okay, you know, like champion.
Just seeing how we know each other doing. We all done work together, spar together, and you know, we come up in this fight game together. So we just talk, see how each other doing, and you know, I work in the gym in Rockville, and
Okay.
Keith came up there. Keith Holmes came up there to see me one time.
Okay.
Chop came back. Actually, Chop came up there too. Chop came up there. He sparred with a guy up there named Alex Marin.
Okay.
A fighter. And I haven't talked to Sean Bay in a while.
Okay, I know Sean Bay training too, ain't he? He training people too, I think.
I think Sean Bay in Baltimore somewhere.
Okay.
But I haven't spoken with him in a while. But Winky, I talked to Winky about probably about 6 months ago.
Okay.
Because a buddy of mine, wanted to do a podcast with him.
Okay.
So yeah, so I asked Winky, did he want to do it? So I tried to connect him that way. But yeah, we just have regular conversations. How you doing? We don't just talk about boxing.
Okay.
Yeah, we just talk, see how we doing and just talk about life.
You know how reason I asked that question. That's like, being a world champion. That's like an elite club. Y'all got y'all own secret elite society. You know what I'm saying?
We just talk about regular shit. We just talk about regular shit. Talk about life.
That's right.
Talk about the news. Talk about what's going on in the world. That's all.
You know how the presidents get together and they got their elite club. Y'all got y'all elite. That's a secret society in DC. You know what I'm saying? I have man, it was a great thing in that time to watch you guys come up, man. Because I remember when you was amateur and look and see you as a world champion, it was amazing, man. It was like, it was great to see that, because Keith Holmes and Mark and Sean Bay, they was already pro by the time I started fighting. So I never got to, I saw Mark when he was fighting for championship, when he fought for, it wasn't a world title. He fought for like I think the USBA or one of those belts, one of those intercontinental belts or something. And to hear the conversations of him and how that 12 round was, his first time going 12. And I was, he was at the fights and he had the belt in the, had those belts in the, how y'all cut them in the briefcase, the silver briefcases. So I didn't really get to see the from amateurs all the way up to the pros for those guys, but I saw you, and I watched you when you was 8-0, knocking everybody out, man. It just blew my.
Yeah, actually, when I turned, I think they were already pro. When I
they was.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They was like, they probably had about 20 fights by the time you had about 8 fights then, I think.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, they was already in the game, yo.
So what's your opinion on Daryl Coley?
Oh man, we used to get in, you know.
And think about Daryl, he had the competition was so vicious for him to become a world champion. You know, he had Oscar De La Hoya, Trinidad, all those guys was world champion. Pernell Whitaker, you know what I'm saying? He had a rough weight class.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what category do you put him as? And put him as one of the greats as well?
Absolutely, yeah. I think he could have been a world champion. I think, when he fought not Trinidad, he fought Oscar.
Oscar, yeah.
Yeah, I think if he had to settle down a little more, took his time. Because Mandel used to go 10 rounds. Mandel went 10 rounds every day for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Down here, man. Yeah, we was getting in. That's when Daryl was at his best.
Yeah.
I think he should have been a world champion. You know, he fell short, but he should have been a world champion. He definitely had the skills to be that.
He definitely did.
He definitely had the skills to be a world champion, but things didn't happen that way, so we got to move on. Like I always tell athletes, man, football players, basketball players, okay, now let's see. A lot of fighters and basketball players, football players, when their career's over, they get depressed.
Yeah. That's true.
But you gotta realize, and I try to tell them that that's just was a part of your life.
Yeah.
It's time to do something else.
It is.
You know what I mean? Don't get depressed over that. That's over with. Now, let's move on.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So, far as training, who was considered one of the best trainers around this area, you think?
I'm gonna say Rock Sims. Right, he passed away.
Rock Sims,
Marvin Sims, Rock. He used to be there around one.
I think I remember him. With the guy with kind of like an eye, kind of like got a cut on his eye or something.
Yeah, he got a little cut on his forehead.
Yeah, I remember him, man. Yeah.
He was real quiet.
Real quiet, laid back. I remember him, yeah.
After he trained Adrian Davis, but he was, listen, he wasn't outspoken. He wasn't outspoken.
Okay.
He was laid back. He didn't say much. But I think if he spoke up, he could have been a millionaire. He just like laid back.
He laid back.
He didn't say much. He just he was one of those types that didn't speak up.
Right.
If he did, I think he would have been, he would have been Sugar Leonard's trainer. He would have been Evander Holyfield's trainer.
I got you.
He just didn't. I don't think he realized his talent, man. The things he used to tell me, man, I was like, damn.
Right.
Yeah. He was a great trainer, man. Marvin Sims.
I remember him, man. I remember him. Yeah. So, what was one of the best camps you've been to?
The best camps? I like it up there in Big Bear, California, man. That was a nice camp up there, man. And one thing about Big Bear, California, it's a lot to do up in those mountains.
Okay.
It's not like out there in the middle of nowhere. You got all kinds of stuff to do up there. You got water sports and
they
even got little nightclubs up there.
Okay.
So it's not like you go to camp and it's you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
There's a lot to do up in those mountains. What I hated about Big Bear is coming down the mountain because I wasn't used to that long drive down the mountain gave me a headache.
Get a headache. Yeah, do that, man.
So when I remember one time I had to come down to we drove from Big Bear, California to Las Vegas to see Zab Judah and Constance fight.
Okay.
I said when they fought, we went back up to the mountain. I said, I'm not coming down this mountain until the time to come down real good.
That's right.
And I wasn't used to that ride, that mountain ride.
Yeah. Especially them mountains ain't no joke. They ain't nothing like the mountains by us, man. Them jokes is up there. Them Rocky Mountains is serious, man.
Yeah, serious. Yeah. I went to Africa. I went to Africa in 2011 to Kenya.
Okay.
And I stayed up in the mountains, a place called E10. That's where all marathon runners train at.
Okay.
Kenya,
oh, that's probably main camp there. I can believe it.
Yeah. We went up there. We did a medical mission trip in that place called Sawala, Kenya, out in the bush.
Okay.
And we was coming down off that mountain every day. I I was dizzy as hell.
I can believe it, man. I've been to Colorado Springs. I know how that felt training up there, man. That was me too.
We fought out there back in '92,
Yeah, that joker there had you couldn't breathe. And I was the only one from the East Coast, so I wasn't used to the the oxygen.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm ready to come home. I can't breathe.
Matter of fact, me, Luther Smith, and all of us was out there January '92.
Okay.
As soon as we got off the plane, we were running just to get used to the air.
Oh, you got to though. You got to do that. Yeah, you got to, man. Yeah, but this is we down to the wire now, man. Anything that you wanna mention or talk about on your own, you can, man. Just if you feel like something you want to get off your chest, just let it go, man. If you feel like it, man.
Well, I just want to say that all fighters, man, all these young fighters coming up, man, stay focused, man. Remember that boxing is a year-round sport, man. It's not seasonal. And stay on point at all times, because you never know when you're going to get that phone call. Maintain your weight. You know, don't be getting 20, 25, 30 pounds overweight, because when you get overweight and you rush, you crash down and you strength at the fight.
That's right.
So stay disciplined. You know, stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Because this thing, can set you up for the rest of your life. You keep good people around you. Keep good people around you, and maintain your condition, and you can go a long way. You can go a long way. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Like I said, he fights. He got all the money in the world, but he takes this craft seriously. And I'm telling all the young fighters, do the same. Do the same. And you got to take you places where you couldn't imagine.
You heard it all here from former world champion. Doesn't get no better than that, young people. It doesn't get no better than hearing it from someone that actually made it happen. Take your craft serious. Respect boxing, because boxing will pay off in the back end, like he said, to take you to places that you never been. That man said he been all the way to Kenya, been to California, been over to Japan. Boxing took him to places that he couldn't imagine. People, stay focused. DC Boxing Legends, William Joppy. Peace.
DC Boxing Legend Podcast. 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 DC Boxing